So I have this group, the Holidays for the Revolutionary Humanist. Holiday assumes that some days are more important than others, and essentially there's something to celebrate every day. Every day we have something to celebrate, and we can create our own holidays, sort of inspired with the sort of Kwanzaa, but really all the holidays were just created out of thin air. They just made it up, right? Some holidays around the summer solstice and the equinoxes make sense, but all the other ones are just fucking, fool's tide. So you have the January 14th. Actually, I forgot to post 2 days ago. It's just midnight right now, January 16th, 2015. 2 days ago, Ben Ali abdicated, and the Tunisian Jasmine Revolution is successful in 2011. So they had started, I think it was 2010. It took them a year for the revolution to be successful. Ben Ali abdicated. So therefore, they kicked out the dictator, and then they were able to get a constitution and some other shit. Unfortunately, the fucking military intervened, and they were all being about the, great champions of fucking democracy, but eventually the military takes over. And that's what we're seeing in Egypt. The the revolution was lost, but in Tunisia, sorry, I'm getting those two confused. But in Tunisia, it succeeded and it's doing well. So Tunisia is a good example of how we can have revolution, a successful revolution. Do what Tunisia did. Don't do what Egypt did. Do what Tunisia did. Egypt was good at being provocative, and they did get a candidate elected, but then afterwards, the military took over. But in Tunisia, they were successful. There's a lot of comparisons with Tunisia and America. A lot of major educated class that has no jobs, and they're faced with poverty. So when you give people higher expectations, they expect to be able to use their education and to have social mobility and to do better for themselves. So when you have a high amount of educated population that's not doing well, eventually they're going to call for change. So Tunisia's Jasmine Revolution has many lessons that we can learn from. January 15th is actually when MLK was born, 1929. So he's, in 14 years, he'd been 100 years old. That's 89 years ago. MLK would have been 89 years old today. And so he was found murdered by the U.S. government in a 1999 civil trial. When he got assassinated in Memphis, he got killed over the sanitation workers. There was a sanitation worker strike, and he went there to defend garbage workers and their right to unionize. That is what was important to MLK, the right to unionize. Unions right now, Kentucky and at local areas, they're fucking passing right to work fucking, statutes. They're pressing hard as they fucking can. The Bluegrass Institute, Jim Waters, I don't know how that motherfucker gets an article in the fucking papers, but he's got a very big, wide range, a wide audience when it comes to, Kentucky politics. And right to work is a right to work for less. It's a anti-union measure. And, if we want to be like the Netherlands, if we want to be like Denmark, if we want to do, there's so many countries that's actually kicking ass when it comes to the economic situation, when it comes to freedom, democracy, human rights, equality, gender equality, child health care, just child care in general, family leave. There's lots of countries that's kicking ass when it comes to socialist and capitalist measures. And so we can learn from the countries that are doing better. Why would we not? Great pool of ideas, the best ideas should succeed. And so therefore, we should I'm going to talk more about the economy. This is all about Kentucky economics. It's all about the money, stupid, right? It's about the economy, stupid. So on January 16th, that would be today, there's two things that had happened today. So two things to celebrate. The first thing is the day commemorates the enactment of the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom in 1786. On January 16th, 1786, the Assembly of Virginia enacted the statute and the state's laws. The statute disestablished the Church of England in Virginia and guaranteed freedom of religion to people of all religious faiths, including Catholics and Jews, as well as a number of all Protestant denominations. So that, religious freedom, we had religious freedom in 1786. The founding fathers, they want to sit there and say it's a Christian nation and all this shit. This is one of the first fucking statutes. And it says that that's the good thing about America is we have a right to worship as we please. And so, religion is a protected under the First Amendment. So you have January 16th, 1909. 3 members of an Ernest Shackleton expedition to Antarctica Edgeworth, David, Douglas, Mawson. Wait, is the First Amendment right to religion? Yeah, I think so, isn't it? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. I think so. I'm not sure. The religion one was the important one. That's what my fucking. It's definitely freedom of speech, right to assemble, right to petition. I guess freedom of religion is one of them. I'll make sure. But it's an amendment regardless, right? It's a freedom we have anyway. So, three members of an Ernest Shackleton expedition to Antarctica, Edgeworth, David, Douglas Molson, and Alistair Mackay, succeeded in finding the South Magnetic Pole. So you had three guys that found the South Pole in 1909. So that happened today, 104 years ago. We discovered the South Pole. We don't do things because they're easy. We do things because they're hard. That's the American spirit, the innovative, tough American spirit. So you have a day commemorates the enactment of the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom in 1786. So we got freedom of religion. We went to Antarctica, and MLK was born, and the Tunisian Revolution was won. Let's take a look at the First Amendment. We should learn from the best countries out there. That's the good thing about America being a melting pot, was that we was able to take all these different ideas and then make the best of what, the whole world had offered. That was the great thing about the Constitution, about the Revolution, was that we put this shit down on paper. We wrote it in a Constitution. And again, Tunisia, we can learn from Tunisia. We can learn from the Netherlands. Comparative governments, comparative society. So the First Amendment to the Constitution prohibits the making of any law respecting an establishment of religion. So the Establishment Clause, you cannot establish religion. So there is a wall between government and religion. That's what that is saying. That's why there's no 10 Commandments in the schools or in the courthouses, or there's not supposed to be, because that's an affront to the First Amendment. The First Amendment does not have a right to establish one religion or another. So if you're putting 10 Commandments up, then you also need to put the Sharia law up, and you need to put Buddhist, the laws of Buddhism and every other religion on the nation, on the planet. Because if you say one religion is better than the other, then now you're saying that, you're opening up a Pandora's box. And in fact, Christians are just as atheistic as I am. There's 2,600 gods in the world, and they believe in 2599. They don't believe any of the other gods out in this fucking planet, right? Zeus, Apollo, Plato, or Pluto. I don't know. Those aren't gods, but there's a shit ton of stupid ass gods. Zoroastrianism, Saturn. I guess I was thinking like Pluto. So there's Zeus. There's Zoroaster. There's Ishtar and Sun Ra, Amun Ra, Sol Invictus. Lots of fucking religions, and the government cannot establish one or the other. So, here's a quick, just some quick little. Well, actually, let's check this list here, okay? So when we come to comparing our society with other societies, anything is, you could compare anything with anything, but you want to try to have comparable things, right? So when you look at the economy, you want to see what other economies out here have the same amount of GDP. Kentucky is producing 186 billion dollars in GDP. 186. We're kicking Oklahoma's ass, Iowa, Kansas, Nevada, Utah, DC, Arkansas, Mississippi, Nebraska, New Mexico, Hawaii, Delaware, New Hampshire, West Virginia. We're kicking all these fucking states' asses when it comes to GDP. And it's not just coal. We have way more manufacturing bases than coal. So if you work in a manufacturing factory, you should be pissed off because nobody was talking about you. Nobody was talking about, your environment, your work. It was all about coal, right? Coal. And it was all about giving coal to fucking Pennsylvania. Nothing to us. Nothing to the coal workers. Nothing to our communities. They always try to take that, coal severance tax, right? Frankfurt always takes it away from the locals, and they don't have any running water. People living in coal counties are a beggar living on a mountain of gold. So those are the states we're kicking ass on, but the states that are doing better than us, we can learn from. We can learn from South Carolina, Alabama, Oregon, Connecticut, Louisiana, Missouri, Wisconsin, Arizona, Tennessee, Colorado, Indiana, Minnesota, Maryland, Washington, Michigan, Massachusetts, Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Florida, New York, Texas, and California. Every one of them, look at California, nearly $2 trillion GDP, $2 trillion. California is right up there with like the top 15 economies in the entire fucking world. You know, California, Texas, New York, they all are making in excess of $1 trillion fucking dollars in GDP. They are producing lots of shit and they're making lots of money because of it. It gives everybody has a higher standard of living when you create a bunch of products to sell, and then that helps the economy somehow when you have a bunch of shit all over the place. Um, that's economics 101. Economics 101 is when you produce a bunch of shit that's good for the economy, good for you. That's a high GDP is what people base the wealth of nations on. So we can learn from all these American states, which is actually even better of a comparison because how are they able to, how is, I mean, there's a lot of comparable states in terms of population and size and even location in the world. You know, South Carolina, Alabama, what the fuck are they doing that's better than Kentucky, Oregon, Connecticut, Louisiana, Connecticut? You know, Connecticut's so much tinier. How the fuck is Connecticut kicking Kentucky's ass? That's a tiny ass fucking state. We should look at what Connecticut is doing. Missouri, what are they doing? Wisconsin, Louisiana, Arizona, what are these states doing that's beating the shit out of Kentucky? Tennessee is right, south of the border, probably identical in area and population. Might be a little bit bigger than us, I think. But that's, they're producing almost $100 billion more of GDP than us. Why is Tennessee competing $100 billion more than Kentucky? Why is Tennessee kicking Kentucky's ass? South Carolina, Alabama, Connecticut, they're all kicking Kentucky's ass. So let's keep on going up the line. Colorado, Indiana, that's right next door. What is Indiana doing? They're producing 130 billion more dollars in GDP. Minnesota, Maryland, Washington, Michigan, Massachusetts, that little tiny ass fucking state. Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina, all these fucking states are kicking Kentucky's ass. They don't know what the fuck they're doing in Frankfurt. They don't know what the fuck they've been doing in Frankfurt for the last fucking, 200 fucking years. It's basically just an aristocratic class just screwing over the everyday working class man. That is it. It's class war. It's clear class war. We need to talk about the money. We need to talk about the economics because that is what is going to get Kentucky back on track is when we talk about the economics, when we talk about making money. When everybody has more money, the economy is better. It's better for the rich. It's better for the poor. It's better for everybody. So let's give everybody some fucking money. Let's make Kentucky an actual commonwealth. And we got common poverty, but let's actually have commonwealth. That's what the fuck this was supposed to be, a commonwealth. But unfortunately, we've squandered whatever fucking leverage we've had in the past. So let's compare Kentucky to other nations. Because I think actually, there is a sort of nostalgia, stagnation type thing. There's not any good new ideas that's coming out. And maybe I'm just not looking at them, but they're doing something, but maybe they just got more manufacturing bases or some shit. I don't know. We can learn from Europe. Europe has a better sort of concentration. We can learn from Qatar. We can learn from Luxembourg. These are just tiny dots on the map. And yet Qatar has the highest GDP per capita. And Qatar is they believe in Sharia law. They have, their total population is 1.8 million. Kentucky's is 4.3 million. So they have half the amount of citizens that we have. But per citizen, their GDP rate, that means every citizen is making a lot of shit. And when every citizen is making a lot of shit, then we get better. Kentucky can do this. Kentuckians, you get people land, get people in the factories, get people making things. When you make something, that you could sell that something when that something is made. And so therefore we can, help the economy out by understanding these economics. It's good for ourselves. If you just think about a farm, the more peppers, the more tomatoes, the more corn, the more crops that you raise, the more things that you produce, the more things you could sell. So if everybody just did that, suppose we'd have a great ass economy. Now there's going to be decisions that are going to be made, the market forces, supply and demand, all those things have an effect. And so you want to, you want to raise something that nobody else is raising. You don't want to oversaturate the market, and you want to make sure you can actually sell your products or whatever. So just producing a bunch of shit, even though economist says that's the fucking genius of, economics, that isn't all that we need to do. There's plenty more that we need to do. But in general, to measure the health of a nation, that's all you got to do is just check out their GDP levels. So let's see. The Qatar is, let's see, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. There's Sharia law is the main source of Qatari legislation, according to Qatar's constitution. They have It's a conservative society. It's an absolute monarchy. Its head of state is Emir Sheikh Tamid bin Hamad Al Thani. Qatar is the world's richest country per capita and has the highest human development in the Arab world. Furthermore, it is recognized as a high-income economy by the World Bank. Qatar is the world's third largest natural gas reserves. We got natural gas. They're starting to frack in ours. They wanted to put the Bluegrass pipeline on us. That shit got shut down. Keystone Pipeline is going to get shut down. This is good shit. Okay, this is great. Big business don't get to fucking just run roughshod over the American people, and working class people ain't getting, nobody getting nothing. Okay, but anyways, we can do, maybe get your Bluegrass, get your Keystone Pipeline as long as you fucking increase Social Security. Make sure there's unemployment benefits. Make sure there's plenty. College should be goddamn fucking free. Why the fuck is college not free? Germany offers college free for Americans. How can Germany offer free college for Americans? We can't even provide free college for ourselves. You can go to Germany, move there, become a citizen, and start studying as soon as you fucking go there. That's amazing. That's incredible. Germany has a higher standard of living. There's lots of things Germany is doing. Germany does socialism and capitalism better than America does. And America has 50 fucking states. We got lots of land, lots of humans, lots of workers, lots of labor, lots of capital. We can put this shit together and fucking create a great society. So after Saudi Arabia, Qatar is the most conservative society in the GCC, as most Qataris adhere to the strict Wahhabi interpretation of Islam. Sharia law is the main source of Qatari legislation, according to Qatar's constitution. It's the world's richest country per capita, and it's got the highest human development in the Arab world. Furthermore, it is recognized as a high-income economy by the World Bank. Qatar has the world's third largest natural gas reserves and oil reserves in excess of 25 billion barrels. Qatar has become an influential player in the Arab world. Qatar supported several rebel groups during the Arab Spring, both financially and by asserting global influence through its expanding media group, Al Jazeera Media Network. Qatar will host the 2022 FIFA World Cup, becoming the first Arab country to host the event. Although tiny Qatar wields significant clout, Qatar's rising international profile has led to some analysts to identify it as a middle power. Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. This is the monarch. This is the king of Qatar, who leads by Sharia law, right? He's been running Qatar by Sharia law probably since the whole fucking time it's been alive. I don't even know. How long has Qatar been a fucking country? I don't even know. He's the fourth son of the previous emir of Qatar. I guess that's what they call it. Their king is called the emir. In Luxembourg, there's a Duke of Luxembourg. No fucking kings, but there's dukes. Right? That'd be fun. The Duke of Kentucky, the fucking King of Kentucky, the King of my city. King does sound like cooler, but president is so much more democratic, legitimate, and it's fucking fair, and they have the same power as a king anyways. Governor's pretty fucking strong. Mayor, judge executive, that's a strong fucking name. He's the judge executive, because in Kentucky they used to be one position. The judge was also the executive. So the person interpreting the law was also the person signing the law. There was not a balance of three powers in Kentucky counties. It was the executive and the judicial branch were one branch. So they have a king still there. I don't know if we can have, I don't know, it seems to me that nationalism has happened. I was watching the John Adams and King George III, that John Adams, biopic. And they had a conversation between King George III and John Adams, and King George III says, I hope that America doesn't suffer from a want of a monarchy. And so he was kind of saying there's something about having one fucking family, one fucking person ruling the fucking everything for fucking many years. Look at Bush v. Clinton. How many times do we talk Bush v. Clinton? Every goddamn fucking presidential election, the same two fucking families. That is some power. That's substantial, significant amount of fucking power. And I don't know what it is. I don't, the English and the fucking Luxembourg and Qatar, they all have these ruling families. And so by having one face that represents a whole country for a long ass time is just a good way for nationalistic type of feelings, right? Who are you? You're a fucking follower of the Duke of Luxembourg. You're the follower of Emir. In Kentucky, I don't know if there's there's been some dynasties, Breckinridges. There's the, I don't know, some other ones, I'm sure. Brashear, you got the baby Brashear coming up through the Attorney General channels. So you got, Steve Bashir, Baby Bashir. But in terms of actual political dynasties, I don't see any, not any for Kentucky. So my point is, it's a good and bad thing. The idea that monarchy is sort of that it's nationalistic and the state and the people are one, and they see themselves as one. So you put a face on, their state. And while I question the state's authority, I don't know how you get rid of the state. It seems almost impossible. People don't know how to fucking organize themselves. If they understood democracy or democratic practices, maybe there'd be more localities, people in localized communities doing their shit. That's where the power should lie, is in the local government, and then to the state, and then to the federal. But it's the opposite. Most people think the federal government tops the state, tops the fucking local. So state and local taxes in 2015, shares of family income for non-elderly taxpayers. This is the tax rate that we're actually looking at in Kentucky. So the lowest 20% pay 9% of taxes. The second 20%, 10%, middle 20, 10%, and then 6%, the top 1%. So the top 1% of rich Kentuckians aren't paying their fair share in taxes. We're paying more fucking taxes than the goddamn wealthy, the people who own public storage and all the other fucking corporations in this land. They are not paying their fair share of fucking taxes. We're getting hosed with the taxes. Many of these corporations, McDonald's, Walmart, who are the standard bearers for how corporations are supposed to behave and operate, they don't pay their fucking, their employees enough of a wage that they still have to go out and get on welfare and get on food stamp benefits. And so actually the corporation costs the government, more money than actually helping them. If you're providing jobs, you should provide good jobs. And that way people don't have to fucking live on the government. But if they got a job and they're still in the poverty class, then that job, that position should be fucking criminal. That's FDR. Yeah, I could pay somebody, trick somebody, pay them a fucking penny an hour or some shit, and if I get away with it, good for me. That's what, laissez-faire capitalism says. But frankly, that's fucking criminal. And people do need to understand they should have dignity for themselves and be proud of themselves. That's how you actually begin to start to grow and start to advance as a society. Instead of just being surrendering, right? You go to a job, you're getting minimum wage, you just got to be their fucking bitch, a wage slave fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up and do as you're fucking told. Who the fuck wants to join into that fucking cult? Who wants to join into that fucking slave, fucking totalitarian fascist fucking alignment? Who wants to, be on the bottom of the fucking totem pole? Who wants to join in and just say, hell yeah, I'm a fucking nobody and have no thoughts, no mind? You got to be able to talk corporate talk. You got to be able to talk union talk. You got to be able to talk some fucking type of talk and then be able to maintain your soul. But people are just shutting down, shutting off, and then just, going through the motions. And then the fact that the Republicans are, going to go with a shock doctrine type of treatment with the economy. They're going to make sure that the corporations get anything and everything, and we're going to be even cheaper labor than what we were before. So that's the reason why we have to surrender, is because if you have a job, then somebody can take your job immediately as soon as you fucking step out of line. And since there's so many people needing jobs, that gives you very little job security. So for your $7.25, you better start, put those fries in the greaser and sweep up this floor, bitch. Do as the fuck as you're told, bitch, or else I'm gonna fucking find some other cheap ass fucking labor to, fill your shoes. So it's just not the 1%. The top 4% is only paying 7.4%. They are the two lowest when it comes to the taxes. It's not steal from the rich, give to the poor. It's pay the same amount of taxes that everybody else is fucking paying. Pay your fair share. Live by the same standards we all gotta live by. Why we gotta pay taxes and they ain't paying taxes? They're the ones that get all the damn tax money anyways. They provide these shitty fucking jobs that helps subsidize the rest of the fucking wages that people need to live. They also are the ones, the big banks and the fucking corporate tax loopholes, giveaways, the tax breaks that people give in order to, encourage businesses to come in. Hey, come into Kentucky and you can not pay taxes for 10 years. Yay. And that's supposed to fucking entice more businesses to want to come here, but them paying no taxes. Now that's just not, it just ain't fair. It just ain't right. You gotta be fair. And so therefore, if the poor is paying 99%, that's what 9% is what the fucking the very lowest of the fucking poor, less than 16,000. The poor in Kentucky are paying 9% of, of their income, of their money, their income in taxes. Whereas the second 20, the middle 20, the 420, and the next 15, all these are paying a higher level of taxes than the 4%. The top 5% ain't paying shit when it comes to taxes. And the top 1%, I mean, we don't even have that big of a rich class, so you don't want to fuck over the rich people, right, to where they run off and go some other place. But you can run this society. Why does, making money and respecting human rights, why are they opposed? They shouldn't be opposed. You could respect people's human rights and employ somebody. Like what I was talking about, just making somebody, dig a bunch of holes for a penny an hour. If they fucking agree to it, I'm a good capitalist, right? But I didn't respect that man's human rights. A penny for an hour to dig some holes. I'm a fucking dick. I'm a fucking prick. And just because I found somebody that was, in such horrible conditions, he was willing to do it. He can't make a living on that. He can't pay his rent on that. He can't do shit with that. And how the fuck is that going to help us? It doesn't fucking help us. So it shouldn't be, if you want someone to dig holes all day and that's what you're going to do. And this is actually for like big ass corporations too. Anybody that's employing less than 25 employees, they don't get fucking taxed. So big ass, Walmart and your fucking McDonald's, of course they should pay their fucking fair share of taxes. They don't fucking pay the owners, the CEOs, the wealthy, they're not paying their fair share. They ain't paying their fair share. So, when they start paying their fair share, they was talking about the road fund because gas is going down. So now the road fund is going to lose money in Kentucky. Who gives a shit? Fuck you. The gas prices should be cheaper for everybody. So what? You don't get any more taxes? Taxes, I don't know. There's Mike Gravel was actually talking about a regressive tax where we tax, instead of what we spend, we tax on, what was he saying, on capital? Because since we, the sales tax for poor can fucking really fuck over the poor. They pay more than their fair share because they're the ones that have to buy, they buy all that shit. That's all they do is buy, just things that's $20 and under. And they get the sales tax. So I forget what Mike Gravel was saying. He was saying do something the opposite. Something, instead of taxing consumption, which doesn't make any sense, we would tax production. That seems like the opposite. It seems like it's actually a consumption tax does make a little bit of sense with the food and essentials, without, because taxes are going to be here. Yeah, people say they're stealing, but taxes are, the state's never going to go away, so the taxes aren't ever going to go away. And we can make the state, beneficial to working class people. We need some form of government to, even Milton Friedman said we need a court system. So at the very least, we need arbitration for, what the fuck, a corporation, disputes among corporations. We need arbitration for disputes among corporations. So Milton Friedman at the very least says that we need a government. And how are we going to fund that government? It's going to be through taxes. What kind of taxes? I don't know. Some kind of fucking tax, right? Taxing gas, taxing fucking cigarettes, taxing alcohol, taxing land, property taxes. There's lots of ways that they hit you up with some sort of sales taxes, right? All these local communities are going to raise 1 penny up, and they're going to have little projects, right? They're going to raise like a penny for the taxes, be able to finance some fucking project, and then they'll be look like as heroes. People be pissed off at it. They fucking fought against a penny fucking hike in Warsaw. A penny? You're going to raise it a goddamn penny? People complain about the fucking education. Sometimes it's just a quarter that they raise it on everybody, but sometimes it's a little bit more. So state and local taxes. You look at the fucking, this is, the rich people are not paying their fucking fair share. Bring 6% up to 10% like the other people are. They can be taxed 4% proportion wise. 10% of $1 million is going to be more than 10% of 100. But if you're fucking poor, it matters how much you can give of the wealth that you got. That's what Jesus said, right? These rich people was giving tons of money and shit, but then a fucking poor person came and gave a penny, but they gave everything that they had. If the rich had the same amount of humbleness that the poor had, then we wouldn't be in the dire straits that we're in. Instead, the pensions are fucking robbed. There's no social security. We're spending all of our treasure on empire and nation building. And who gives a fuck? What the fuck does that help? How does that help anybody? It doesn't help. Empire doesn't help the working class. Empire doesn't help me. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help working families. And so we're just wasting all this fucking money, corruption, building all these roads and bridges to nowhere. You have, so much money in the jails and in the cops and in the road. That's where most of the corruption were, in the police and in the construction projects. So you want to save some tax dollars and cut down on those tax dollars. Netherlands, they're kicking ass too. So let's just finish off this list here. of the countries of the world that are kicking Kentucky's ass. Okay, and then I'll call it, I'll call it an hour. So there's like probably about 20 or 30 fucking countries that are kicking Kentucky's ass, and these are countries that we can learn from. So Kentucky, we see, is making 186 billion dollars in GDP. Now look at the list of countries, and that makes us above Qatar, Ukraine, and Romania. Now Qatar is just a dot on the map. So the fact that Qatar is even in the running, read up on Qatar. I don't give a fuck about your anti-Muslim attitude, you fucking racist pricks. Look up Qatar. Their economy is kicking ass. What are they doing in Qatar that we're not doing in Kentucky? We need to be more like Qatar. And the Czech Republic and Kazakhstan and Peru and Algeria and Ireland and Portugal and Iraq and Pakistan and Finland and Greece and Philippines and Israel, Egypt, Hong Kong, Chile, Singapore, Malaysia, Denmark, Thailand, Colombia, Venezuela, United Arab Emirates, South Africa, Austria, Nigeria, Argentina, Belgium, Poland, Norway, Sweden, Iran, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, Turkey, Indonesia, South Korea, Mexico, Spain, Australia, Canada, India, Italy, Russia, Brazil, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Japan, China, United States, and the European Union. The European Union is kicking the United States ass. Look at the European, it's kicking their ass, okay? So the GDP, right, this is 2012. These are, how many countries did I just list there? So Kentucky is making 186. That puts them in between Ukraine and the Czech Republic. So Kentucky would be the 51st biggest economy in the world. And I don't even think, like, I'm comparing states in America and I'm comparing countries in America. I should also include corporations, because there's actually some corporations that have bigger economies than other states. And so corporations actually have more money and more power than a lot of, individuals, a lot of countries, a lot of nations, a lot of fucking people. Corporations have fucking taken over the world. And now that Mitch McConnell's in there, we all corporate America. So you all cheap labor. Welcome to cheap labor land, dickholes. You were to sell the Kentucky, piece by piece to the fucking big ass corporation and wealthy bankers, you fucking dickheads, just because you all a bunch of racist backwards fuckers. So, I will pull up that list. That'll be another fucking video to do. But for right now, I'm just going to point out these fucking countries that are kicking Kentucky's ass. We got the fucking slogan, Kentucky kicks ass. Oh, give me a fucking break. We can do so much better. So who can we learn from? The Czech Republic. That's the Bohemians. The Czech Republic was the country that Hitler took over. He took over in 38 in the Neville Chamberlain moment where they, had this piece of treaty and signed a piece of paper or some shit saying he wouldn't attack any more people, but he did. He signed whatever treaty he needed to fucking sign and kept on going. But that was the Czech Republic. That's Bohemian. I'm part Bohemian. I'm part Czech. And so I'm partial to the Czech Republic. The Czech Republic has one of the best democracies, has high standard of living. The Czech Republic is kicking ass. Okay? So the Czech Republic, that's number 50. All 50 countries are doing better than Kentucky. If we were to do what Czech Republic or Kazakhstan or Peru, Algeria, Ireland, Portugal, we would have a higher GDP. So we can learn from every single one of these countries. Which one of these countries? How are you going to remember which one of these countries to study? Well, I'm going to fucking talk about them, and maybe that'll help. Colombia, right? All the fucking cocaine. They're making $369 billion in GDP. And Colombia is like a big capitalist fucking country, right? There's like no socialism going on there. They have the war on drugs. They're just like America in many respects, and yet they got a GDP that's twice as much as Kentucky. Colombia is kicking Kentucky's fucking ass. And, the bluegrass conspiracy, we try to get some of their fucking cocaine here. So maybe their underground fucking drug market is actually helping their GDP. I don't know how they're measuring it, how you measuring that fucking GDP. But, in Bolivia, they chew on coca leaves, and that gives them energy. So Thailand, I know nothing about Thailand. I'm actually kind of embarrassed about that. But Thailand, what the fuck is Thailand doing that's better? Denmark, we learned about the Danes. Denmark is the happiest, the best country. They have a GDP, almost twice as much as Kentucky. So let's see. Kazakhstan's got a big wide area. There is ISIS. You saw that kid actually shoot that fucking guy. In Kazakhstan, that's Borat, right? But it's a big wide swath of fucking ground, lots of people there, and they're producing more stuff than Kentucky. Kazakhstan is kicking Kentucky's ass. So Borat would come to Kentucky and laugh. Oh my God, look at you backwards hillbillies, right? He would think Kentucky is fucking backwards. And actually, there's so much comparisons with Borat and your fucking sort of stereotypical, but also average right? Fucking Kentucky a person here. You got the toothless, you got fucking bare feet, racist, dumb fuck, dumbasses here. That is a stereotype for a reason. There's a reason we have those stereotypes. So Peru, Algeria, where Peru? That's South America, Algeria. Is it Africa? Is Algeria in Africa? Let's take a look at Algeria and Peru. Ireland. Oh my God, Ireland is a tiny ass fucking island. What the fuck is Ireland doing? The goddamn Irish is kicking Kentucky's ass. What are the fucking Irish doing? Right? They were like the slaves. They were treated shitty when they first come to America. So what the fuck were the Irish doing with their tiny ass fucking island, and they're kicking Kentucky's ass? Portugal, right? Even small fucking spot. Iraq is kicking Kentucky's ass. Iraq is making more shit than Kentucky. Pakistan, that's where Osama bin Laden was fucking sleeping. They have a better, stronger economy than Kentucky. Finland is like always topping democracy, happiness. It's one of them Scandinavian countries. Finland, Sweden, and Norway. These fucking countries, even Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, all those fucking countries right there. Right there. What sea is that? Whatever fucking sea that is. It was where the Hanseatic League had fucking formed. But right where that fucking sea is at, I think it's where a lot of white people fucking came from too, after the Huns or something. I don't know. But that's that we can learn from these fucking areas. We can learn from Finland, Greece. Even Greece is like sort of enmeshed in like sort of controversy and turmoil and shit. Algeria is in North Africa. It's actually the biggest fucking state in North Africa, right next to France. So there's a big fucking battle of Algiers, actually. So Algeria is kicking ass. They got a lot of fucking, a lot of fucking territory, big ass fucking territory. Look at that. That's a huge. Look at it. It's almost like 4 times the size of France. And France and Algeria were warring with each other. So I don't know. That's Algeria. We can learn from their economy. Why is Algeria producing more stuff than Kentucky? It doesn't matter really even the size of the state or the amount of people. What matters is the per capita GDP. I think it's called the PPP. If each individual can maximize their productive powers, if everybody's being productive and producing and making a bunch of shit, then we progress and we go to new levels. If more people are producing more shit, we could sell it, and that's good for the economy, says the economist. And so that's what we need to work on. We got 4.3 million Kentuckians. And they all need to be making stuff, and they need to be put to work, and they need to, control their own economy. They need to have dignity for themselves. They need to be in solidarity with one another, be able to talk and, talk about politics and have democratic processes, and be able to debate and speak up for their opinions, give reasons for why they believe the things that they believe. And we should be able to work these things out. Politics should be common water cooler talk. And if you're not even voting, so many people in Kentucky don't even fucking vote. You're not doing anything. You're not paying attention to those who are running. You're not looking at who we should be voting for. You're not weighing, which candidate is better than the other candidates. These are hard decisions to make. And I don't see any fucking effort. If you're not even going to vote, you're not making any fucking effort for your democracy. And shame on you, but you're gonna lose your fucking democracy because you're a bunch of dumb fucking selfish fucking. Y'all love your change. You love being wage slaves, and it's ridiculous. Peru, it's a country in Western South America, right? So Peru, they're kicking Kentucky's ass. Algeria's kicking Kentucky's ass. Thailand is kicking Kentucky's ass. Thailand is right there next to Indonesia and China. It's in Asia. It was formerly known as Siam. It's a country at the center of the Indochina Peninsula in Southeast Asia. It's bordered to the north by Burma and Laos, to the east by Laos and Cambodia, to the south by the Gulf of Thailand and Malaysia. Thailand is a monarchy headed by King Bumabol Adulajej Rama IX and governed by a military junta that took power in May 2014. The king is the ninth of the House of Chakri and has reigned since 1946 as the world's longest serving current head of state and the country's longest reigning monarch. Longest reigning the countries. Okay, so whatever. They're a fucking monarchy too, but their fucking economy is kicking Kentucky's ass. Kentucky kicks ass. Yeah, we do. We're badasses, but we can become better badasses. We can start producing more shit, and we can have a kick-ass fucking economy where the workers are getting paid a good fucking wage, where we have good education, good health care, a good fucking society where people care about each other, more like the Danish, right? The fucking Denmarks. They have a family medical leave act. They have, where they're taking care of their families, taking care of their babies, taking care of their parents, and they got a high GDP, so they're doing well with their economics. People ain't just sitting around fucking taking money, but they're actually improving themselves and they're fucking getting up in this world. So let's keep on moving up. Pakistan, Finland, Greece, the Philippines, Israel, Egypt, Hong Kong, Chile, Singapore, Malaysia, Denmark. Chile is actually kind of shocks me. Number 37, but Chile's kicking fucking Kentucky's ass. Chile, all right? They made their economy was screaming, right? So they're like Mr. Capitalist fucking, that's Milton, Friedman's fucking, that's his baby, right? That's his fucking baby. And they fucked the economy up when they first started to do shit there. But let's see, Colombia, Venezuela. Oh, Venezuela. I am happy to see Venezuela up here. Venezuela produces a ton of oil. But Venezuela is producing more than just oil. So, they have oil reserves that they're making money off of, but they also have, that's Hugo Chavez's fucking place, right? So Hugo Chavez has a high GDP and a higher standard of living for their people. They're a socialist, capitalist fucking country. And good for Venezuela. We can learn so much from Venezuela. So the United Arab Emirates, South Africa. There's some good news out. Nigeria. My God, Nigeria is just pumping fucking shit out. They're a big ass fucking state too. I think a lot of oil. That oil always helps, right? Austria. Well, we got coal. That's our fucking oil is coal. And we can make some good fucking money with it, right? So Colombia, Venezuela, Austria, Nigeria, Argentina, Belgium, tiny ass. Look at Belgium. Oh my God. Belgium is this tiny ass fucking country, and they are making $482 billion in GDP. We're only making $180 billion. So they're making, more than almost 3 times the fucking economy in Belgium. And Belgium is like such a tiny ass fucking state. I don't even, the state, I will check out the fucking size of Belgium, because this is ridiculous. My God, Kentucky, I think, is like, I want to say 40,000 square acres. And it's 40,000 square acres. Denmark is only 16. So the fucking Denmark, they're fucking kicking Kentucky's ass. They have a higher GDP. Belgium has a higher GDP. They're kicking Kentucky's ass. Right? Denmark is up there. I want to make sure I said this right. Maybe not. Where the fuck is Denmark? Yeah, Denmark's number 34. So they are beating, Kentucky would be 51, right? So Denmark has a higher GDP than Kentucky. They have a higher standard of living. They're like 1/3 of the fucking size. Belgium, they have 30,000, let's see, 11,000 square miles. So they are 1/4 the size. Belgium is 1/4 the size of Kentucky. Kentucky, you should be embarrassed of yourselves. How the fuck is Belgium fucking kicking your fucking ass? The Kingdom of Belgium is kicking Kentucky's fucking ass. It's a monarchy. All these monarchies are fucking, their economies are fucking going through the roof. They are fucking kicking ass. They are doing so well in terms of GDP. Belgium, Netherlands, the Danish, not only are they kicking ass with GDP, but they also have a better fucking, a socialist program, a socialist safety net to where the workers are actually getting paid decent wages too. So workers have better lives, corporations have better lives. Everybody's doing fucking better in Belgium. Everybody's doing better in the Netherlands and Germany than they are in Kentucky. And that's because Kentucky, we're not using our intelligence. We got to use our mind. We got to use the tools that we know in order to get us out of the rut. And that's what we got to fucking do. We got to start thinking outside the box. Think inside the box, outside, in and out. Just fucking come up with some new shit. There's some things that are working, but there's a lot of shit that's not working. Throw out the shit not working, keep the shit that is working, and then let's, apply better fucking ideas. What is Belgium doing that is better than Kentucky? Let's take a look at Belgium a little bit. I don't know. Nothing jumps out at me here. So I don't know what Belgium is doing that's actually fucking better than Kentucky. I'll read up on them and I'll talk to them about it, I guess, when I talk about the corporation list. But Belgium is kicking Kentucky's ass. Venezuela. Oh my God, I'm so actually happy that Venezuela is kicking Kentucky's ass. They have, their square miles, they got 353 thousand square miles. So they have like, you know, what, 4 or 5 times the amount of land that Kentucky does. That helps, having a shit ton of land, right? Their GDP is kicking ass. I don't even know if it'd be a fair comparing, contrasting. But, you know, we can compare ourselves. When you play with the big boys, that's when you get better. So we can compare ourselves. Why not compare ourselves to all of America and the European Union and China and Japan? Why not see what their fucking economies are doing and emulate the good things and throw out the wicked, stupid shit, right? We could do what they're doing. Brazil's kicking ass. They got a big land mass. Yeah, that helps. No shit. But the PPP rate is all that matters. You know, the GDP per capita. Who is making more stuff per person is going to do well. If we can get a country where our, you know, GDP per fucking 4 million, if all 4.3 million of the people are actually working and doing something with their lives, then they'll actually, you know, get somewhere. And they'll be better off. And so what can we do, you know, that actually helps? Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves. They have, you know, they got a socialist leaning and left leaning fucking government. Hugo Chavez, you know, give America hell when he was a leader. And good for him. They tried to fucking coup d'etat him and take him out, but they couldn't do it. Let's see, agricultural commodities, coffee, cocoa, oil quickly came to dominate exports and government revenues in the 1980s. Oil glut led to an external debt crisis and some other things. Let's see, how about this? Inflation peaked in 100% in 1996 and poverty rates rose to 66% in 95. As by 1998, per capita GDP fell to the same level as 1963, down a third from its 1978 peak. The recovery of oil prices, so they went through a fucking spat of really, you know, horrible poverty, and that's why they came up and did all these liberal fucking, you know, things. So they had the crisis, you know, caused a renewed economic downturn. I don't know. I remember Hugo Chavez was giving oil to New Yorkers. You know, he was sitting there saying, look, we have fucking gifts to give. And if the New York can't take care of their fucking cold, then Venezuela will do it. Why is Venezuela giving Americans oil? Giving New Yorkers oil? They're that damn rich. You know, it's like Germany. Germany can offer free fucking college. They're that damn rich. Or they just have a better fucking economic structure. They have better, they are run better economically. So we can learn from Venezuela. We can learn from Belgium. We can really learn from Belgium. Norway. Sweden, look at that. Oh my God, they're fucking just off the chain. Fucking Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Finland. I just unending praise in every which way. My God, I almost want to write those down. Even Belgium, I was impressed with Belgium. And, you know, even Qatar and fucking Luxembourg was doing fucking really well. In Germany. So, I mean, all these countries that are clustered right there, just even the UK and Ireland, all these fucking countries are just kicking ass, man. How the fuck are they able to do so much better than the state of Kentucky? You know, it's not just the small things or whatever, but there's a lot of big things that they're fucking messing up. There's a big coordination effort. Whenever you become a leader, when you become judge, executive, governor, what the fuck ever, you have to understand there's business and there's labor, there's capital, there's the people. And so you have to have a coordination to where it all fits together. You want businesses to come in, of course you do. You want them, you know, they're job creators supposedly. But you also want to have an environment where people can create their own fucking shit. But let's see, you got job creators, they come in here. Now you have to have enough jobs for everybody. Well, did these job creators create enough jobs for everybody? If they didn't create enough jobs for everybody, you're going to have a job shortage. So that's the coordination failure. You got to make sure the workers and the capital are lined up properly. If you keep outsourcing it, you're outsourcing your fucking customers. That people don't have money to buy your fucking shit that you're producing. You work at a steel plant, you work at a fucking shoe factory, you work at where the fuck ever you work. If you can't afford the shit that you're fucking working, you know what I mean? So there's a coordination failure. The workers and the businesses, they all need to be lined up so everybody's got good jobs and that people are doing well. It's got to fucking align up. If you're not aligning your economics up, you're not doing anything. And I don't even believe in central planning or anything like that. I am a capitalist. I mean, the free market has a lot of good ass fucking ideas. Even the land reform ideas and the universal guaranteed basic income are conservative at their fucking basic. Even Milton Friedman was for the universal basic income, and the idea was it cures poverty, and then on top of it, it cures poverty, but it's also supplemental income. You give $10,000 out to the poor, they will spend it. They will spend it all. and that's good for the economy. Talk about a fucking stimulus plan. Instead of bailing these banks out, the people should have been given money so they could have bought their houses outright, and just, fuck the banks over. The banks just took that money and sat on it, saved their own asses, and fucked everybody else. So, our government isn't working for us. Our government hasn't been working for us for quite some time. We all seem to know that. We're cynical a little bit about it, but it's corporate America that's fucking everybody over. And so, there's lots of things that we need to do. Talk to each other, get into, democratic assemblies, start fucking organizing, and talk politics, talk about our society, talk about where we're at, and do what is right and do what's best. And so we can progress. Somebody told me the idea about, using trash for energy. That's a great idea. I don't give a fuck who says a good idea. A good idea is just a good idea. And, you can't stop a good idea whose time has come. So when you want to take the trash, here I got a bunch of trash, actually, like, not in my house, it's outside, but I haven't paid the $10, month or whatever for the trash to pick up my stuff. So I have all this extra trash. But when I think about it, really the things that bother me are sort of like the food stuff, the meat, the bones, because I'm afraid that, the critters will get into it. But there's a lot of paper products. There's a lot of, reusable things that can be burned. I don't need the trash to come, the motherfuckers to take my fucking garbage and just go throw it in a hole somewhere. We can take all that landfill, all that trash, and turn it into energy. That's what one of these nations are doing. And I'm going to fucking study up on that fucking thing too. Because turning trash into energy, That's amazing. Why the fuck are we not doing this? Turning trash into energy? Why would you just throwing your trash away, you wasteful motherfucker? Next time you see somebody throw trash in a trash can, you call them a wasteful motherfucker. You could have done something else with that cup, You could have done something else with that container. Use that container for something. You could have done so much better. You could have turned it into electric. You're just gonna sit there and throw all that stuff when you could have turned it into electric. What the fuck is the matter with you? Don't fucking pollute. Don't litter in the trash cans. Start reusing all these resources. God, all these products and all this shit. People just throw away fucking shit by the gallons. My God. Nigeria, Austria, I'm part Austrian. So United Arab Emirates. The thing I've been knowing about the United Arab Emirates is they got the tallest skyscraper in the world. They have a great economy. Look at it, $383 billion in GDP. Colombia, Thailand, these are the top dogs here. Singapore, Malaysia. Well, I don't know much about Singapore or Malaysia. Let's learn something about these countries. Singapore, I remember that guy got a caning when he went to Singapore, right? He was doing graffiti and the way they do punishment in Singapore is they spank the shit out of you with a fucking stick in the middle of court. South Africa, Austria, Nigeria, Argentina. Look at these. Belgium. Poland. Nietzsche, he said, fuck Germany. Germany is only great because of its Polish blood. So we got to check out Poland. Let's see. Write this down. Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, and Germany. Man, I read that one article about Germany. Germany is just, man, with the fucking free college. What the fuck, America? You guys are embarrassing. The fact that y'all don't think outside the box, and that you want to compete with the world, get everybody educated. Free education for everybody. You want to move up, you want to be a teacher, you want to do something with your life, get educated and go on. If you don't want to do that, you want to read books, you don't want to get any more fucking talents, then fine. You can stay unskilled labor for the rest of your life. Or you can learn a trade, go to vocation. The fact that we would be better equipped to do things, better with the trade, better with the mind. Oh my God, why the fuck would we not do that? The only reason we wouldn't want to do that is if you're one of the rich motherfuckers that says, well, shit, I can put my kids through college and private school. Why the fuck do I want the general public to have all those fucking opportunities? Fuck that. I just want my kids to succeed, and fuck the general public. Well, that's fucking bullshit. Everybody's getting fucked over because of that. There is, the social mobility. The school system doesn't increase the social mobility. It actually keeps it the same. The best indication if you're going to do well has nothing to do with whether or not you do well in school. It has to do with whether your parents did well. If your parents did well, you'll do well. If your parents didn't do well, you won't. So the school doesn't even fucking matter. The school is irrelevant. Google doesn't even hire fucking college graduates. So good companies want good talent. They don't want people that just went through the rigmarole and are obedient and fucking stupid and can't use their own damn mind, have no critical thinking, have no ambition or gumption. But people that actually are hungry, that can do things, that are talented, that are intelligent, that can fucking function, you know, in a fucking democratic society, in a capitalistic society. You got to be able to do things in order to be able to make some money. So Norway, Sweden, Iran, Switzerland. Oh my God, Switzerland is $631 billion. Switzerland, and that's a tiny ass fucking. Switzerland's the one doing the fucking minimum wage or the guaranteed wage too. How big is Switzerland? Oh my God, I am just tickled to death over here. These fucking countries are just kicking Kentucky's fucking ass left and right, making Kentucky hillbillies look like they the dumb motherfuckers that a lot of them actually are. 2 out of 5 Kentuckians can't even fucking read. We don't even have running water in some of the fucking places. And here Malaysia, I hear Malaysia with the fucking aircraft, the airlines, right? They just disappear in fucking aircrafts. Where are they going? But they are kicking our ass when it comes to their economic fucking output. And so Malaysia shares land and maritime borders with Brunei, Indonesia. Since independence, Malaysia has had one of the best economic records in Asia, with GDP growing at an average 6.5% per annum for almost 50 years. The economy has traditionally been fueled by its natural resources, but is expanded into sectors of science, tourism, commerce, and medical tourism. Today, Malaysia has a newly industrialized market economy, ranked 3rd in Southeast Asia, 29th largest in the world. I just wanted to check out the fucking land and the people. They got a fucking lots of people. The population's almost is 28 million. So that helps, right? But their land mass, well, their land mass is way bigger than us too. So 127 square miles. So Malaysia's a big ass country. But you know what? They got a high, fucking output. So they could be something to study. Every one of these countries that are fucking producing. Well, how are they able to produce? What are they producing? You know, anybody, the best idea should prevail. So I don't give a fuck if the idea comes out of, I don't know, fucking, Lady Gaga's ass. If the idea comes out of Lady Gaga's ass and it's a good fucking idea, I don't give a shit where it came from. Do the fucking idea. That's a good idea. Somebody was mentioning something. I think it was Nader was talking about some sort of private public sort of alliance. And so, you know, the right and the left, the far right and the far left, we could do better fucking coalition buildings because there's lots of issues that are on the table that a lot of people are unhappy about. Major issues, right? The war on drugs, the war on terror, the Patriot Act, the Federal Reserve, the debt. There's lots of shit that everybody's fucking talking about. You know, some of those, the debt I'm not as worried about, and Federal Reserve I'm not as worried about, but we should audit the Federal Reserve. Why would you not audit the Federal Reserve? Well, why are they above auditing? We're the government. They're the ones that control our fucking money. Audit them motherfuckers. Where the fuck are you all getting your damn money? Who the fuck is making these decisions? Monetarism. That's what Milton Friedman was about. So he was all for the Federal Reserve. You know, he wasn't all for it. He was actually against it, but since you had it or whatever, some shit like that. But he believed in monetarism. So essentially, since it's there, then we just have to allow it to slowly expand the money supply. So he believes that the money supply should be fucking expanded, but slowly. I guess in terms of people losing money or more people needing more fucking currency to trade and to not have overinflation. Don't just print a shit ton of fucking dollars and then everybody has all these worthless fucking pieces of paper. So, you know, as long as the American economy is strong, then, you know, we'll keep on going. So Switzerland, officially the Swiss Confederation. It's a small country. Come on, Swiss. 15,000 square miles. Wow. So Switzerland is actually a fucking great country to compare to Kentucky because Kentucky is 14,000 square miles. Or no, 40,000. So actually they're bigger. They're way fucking bigger. They're about 2 or 3 times bigger than Kentucky. So therefore, since they're, you know, 2 or 3 times smaller than Kentucky in their fucking GDP. Oh my God. Switzerland. We can study Switzerland. That should be on the fucking list too. Switzerland. Writing that down. Switzerland. And so Switzerland is kicking ass. Poland, Belgium, Germany, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden. Switzerland is making $631 billion. $631 billion, and they're a fucking third of the size of Kentucky. Fuck you, Kentucky. Y'all don't know what do what Switzerland's doing. Whatever the fuck is Switzerland's doing, we all, yeah, I know you're a bunch of fucking racists and shit. right? So you won't do anything about Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, or the Qatar, but you won't do shit that Switzerland's doing. What the fuck you got against the Swiss? The fucking Swiss Army knives, Swiss fucking chocolate. What the fuck? There's nothing wrong. There's no bad fucking thing with the Swiss. They're the bankers. Maybe that's one bad thing, but they're making the money and they got a guaranteed minimum income that they're going to be passing out to every fucking. Alaska pays a minimum income to everybody just so you don't fuck over their oil reserves and shit. So everybody gets a fucking check, right? You're living in Africa. The oil company says, hey, thanks for letting us take your fucking oil reserves. Here's a check. But we don't even do that for Kentucky. Why the fuck does Alaskans get a check for their oil, but Kentuckians don't get a check for their coal? Do we care about Kentucky's coal here? We don't really give a fuck about Kentucky's coal. Mitch McConnell only cares that the Koch brothers can fucking exploit you motherfuckers, the corporate wealthy bankers. That's all he gives a shit about. So with the Kentucky's coal, he wants the corporations to come in, mine the coal, get their fucking money, say fuck all you bitches, and that's it. You know, pay nobody any labor costs, mechanize the whole thing, pollute the whole fucking thing, take your damn coal, make a shit ton of money for themselves, and say adios amigos. You know, paid fucking Mitch McConnell for all the cocaine he was fucking selling them, and they have a fucking big ass party on our fucking sweat, toil, and tears, on top of our fucking resources. They're taking our resources and nobody gives a shit. Saudi Arabia, that's like one of our biggest fucking allies. They have a big ass coal thing. Saudi Arabia's got a lot of human rights. So does China. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say let's fucking abuse human rights in order to fucking make money. I don't think we should do that. I think we should be the example for the world and we should condemn these fucking assholes. We shouldn't buy China products or fucking Nikes or Reeboks that's made with fucking slave labor. We're fucking better than that. And so, you know, if we should make that shit ourselves. We can make all that stuff here. But let's see, Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, Turkey. Turkey, Netherlands, right? Look at this, almost a fucking $1 trillion. Indonesia, Turkey, Netherlands, the Netherlands. That's Amsterdam. That's legalized weed. That's probably one of the biggest things there is the marijuana trade. Turkey, Indonesia, South Korea, Mexico, Spain, Australia, Canada, India, Italy, $2 trillion. Oh my God, I should fucking, let's emphasize these last fucking, the top 20. Switzerland is in the top 20. Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, Turkey, gobble, 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 the fucking Arabs, right? That's like their Arab fucking, that's the Ottoman Empire, right? So that's like their last big empire. Turkey's kicking ass. Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, South Korea, Mexico, South Korea, right? Kim Jong-il's fucking shitting all over the world, and South Korea is sitting there making a ton of money, making a ton of shit. Mexico, look at that. Mexico, 1.1. I mean, how many fucking Kentuckians think they're better than fucking Mexicans, and Mexico's fucking economy is kicking Kentucky's fucking ass? Kicking their ass. Kentucky's making 180 fucking billion. Mexico's making 1.1 trillion. You know, like that's 5 or 6 times. Mexico's economy is 5 or 6 times bigger than Kentucky's. It's a bigger fucking, you know, massive land too, but fuck you motherfuckers. You know, Mexico's kicking your ass. Their GDP is beating the shit out of your GDP. If we were like Qatar, if we were like Luxembourg, it just makes me want to almost think that we could fucking top all these motherfuckers. Japan, China, Germany, maybe even the US. Fuck it. I mean, California's got $2 trillion. Texas, they got big land and a lot of people and shit, but who gives a fuck? Look at Florida and Illinois. Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Jersey. Look at New Jersey. New Jersey is making a half a fucking $1 trillion worth of shit. The fuck is New Jersey doing this? Fucking, they're just banging out motherfucking, you know, exports. They're just banging out GDP left and right. $500 billion. New Jersey is a small landmass. How the fuck do they have a high fucking, you know, PPP fucking level, fucking GDP per person, per capita? New Jersey kicking ass. That's how they fucking do it. So we can learn from these fucking states, and we should. Any good ideas these fucking states are doing, we should fucking do them. Turkey, Indonesia, South Korea, Mexico, Spain, Australia, Canada, India, Italy, Russia, Brazil. Italy. Italy is like, you know, kind of not a small country, but it's like it's not like Russia or Brazil, right? That's comparable. Italy, United Kingdom, India is a huge fucking country. Canada, Spain, we can learn what Spain's doing. Italy and Spain, right? The fucking Romans and the Spanish fucking conquistadors. What happened to Spain, man? Spain really went downhill after the fucking conquistadors. Dutch still kept on going. Their fucking empire is demolished or whatever, but they're still fucking pumping blood and doing kicking ass, you know, pumping GDP. So Kentucky needs to pump out more GDP. Kentucky needs to fucking produce more shit. Make more stuff. Kentucky, what the fuck y'all doing? Germany, God, Germany, look at that. Germany is the top 5 economies in the world. Germany, oh my God, France, holy shit. Germany, France, Japan, China. The European Union is sitting there, you know, countering the fucking United States, and Germany is like the biggest economic powerhouse of the EU. And Germany is bigger than California and Texas. Germany's economy, in terms of like area and people, is kicking out, you know, the best of the fucking of Americans. California and Texas is only fucking raising, you know, California is only what, 2 trillion? Oh, I know it's only 2 trillion, but compared to 2 trillion, how many people are beating 2 trillion? Italy is kicking California's ass. Russia is kicking California's ass. Brazil is kicking California's ass. The United Kingdom is kicking Kentucky's ass, or California's ass. France, Germany, Japan, China, and U.S. They're all fucking kicking California's ass. Japan. I mean, I don't know who's got the bigger square miles, but Japan has $6 trillion versus California's fucking 2 trillion. So Japan is making fucking 3 times the amount of fucking California. Germany, almost what? Almost like 150%. They're producing almost twice as much as California. France, they're kicking, you know, fucking California's ass. France, UK, Brazil, Russia, Italy, India, you know, Italy, France, Germany, Japan, China, US, EU. I don't even know if you can even, that's not even fair. It's for some of these countries to be up there. The United States has 50 fucking states, right? I almost think just not take it off. It's still a country or whatever, but put all these states mixed in with all these other ones, and you'll see that California. I mean, where are we number 1 at? What the fuck are we number 1 at? We're number 1 at dumbassery and toothlessness and having bare feet and bad health and people dying cancer and lots of fucking pollution. Come on, Kentucky. I mean, you know where you stand. You know what you are. And I don't think it's a bad fucking thing. It could be a very good thing to have an honest assessment of ourselves. We're backwards, we're dumb, we're toothless, you can't fucking read, there's racism everywhere, there's no running water, shit's fucking broken, it's a failed state, it's been a failed state for quite some fucking time, people are barely fucking getting by however they fucking can get by, and it's bullshit. It's bullshit. They're living on the fucking welfare. They're not, you know, they have no talents, they have no fucking skills, and they're a bunch of fucking assholes. You know, we need to educate our people. We need to make sure people are having good economics. No fucking handouts, social fucking safety net. You get out, you work, you hustle. Having a minimum fucking guaranteed income is a good ass fucking idea. And we should learn from, you know, the economies, the good economies of the world. I'm thinking like a fucking capitalist here. This is, you know, this isn't just a big one fucking handout. This is doing socialism and doing capitalism better than everybody else. Take care of our workers, take care of business. Let's have a happy fucking matrimony between the fucking two, so that way people are fucking happy. Let's be like Denmark, be the fucking happiest state in America. Who's the happiest state? Kentucky! You know, that'd be so badass. Everybody cheering on the fucking fans and shit, all the teams and shit. Let's cheer on our fucking wealth. That would be fucking fantastic. And when we start talking about the numbers and we talking about money and making shit and taxes and shit, I don't see why we wouldn't venture into, you know, legalization or having our own professional sports team or buying into anything. I mean, we own Corinth is a city of Kentucky that owns fiber optics, and then Boone County is a county that owns golf courses. So, you know, and then everybody owns water and sewer. So, and then Somerset owns gas stations. So, you know, that's, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a smart thing when they can make money. When the government can make money on their own, they don't need to tax anybody. They can take the profits for themselves, and then those profits can be redistributed amongst us in terms of, you know, infrastructure, education, and fucking improvements and stuff, and a social safety net. So I think those are good fucking things. You know, no government shouldn't just be like a corporation, but if a government can make money like a corporation, then they can take the profits and then, you know, help out fucking people, give them a guaranteed income. That's not just like a corporation. You think efficiently when you come to raising money, but you also got to take care of the people. You got to take care of the people. So it's like raising a baby or whatever. Yeah, you want the baby to get up and grow strong and do everything for itself, but every once in a while it's going to shit all over itself. and it's gonna fucking spill its milk and stuff, and you gotta clean it all up, and then eventually, you know, once it gets to a level where it can do things on its own, then you fucking let go, like riding a bike, right? Once the kid starts fucking riding a bike, you let go, and then they keep on going for themselves. That's what you want to do. And yes, I know it's a baby metaphor, but what the fuck? When you're backwards and dumb and you think you fucking know it all like a goddamn asshole. I remember somebody, a liberal, I said there's a problem with the fucking, you know, they're proud of their backwards ignorance. And I was like, well, that's your problem. They should be, if they want to be proud of their backwards ignorance, that's up to them. Yeah, well, that's really, really retarded. That's really, really fucking ridiculous and stupid. No, you should not be proud of who you are, but don't be proud of stupidity. Don't be proud of ignorance, lying, tyranny. Do not be proud of, you know, wickedness, crime. Do not be proud of, you know, bad shit. That makes no sense. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you've accomplished. But don't be proud of what you haven't accomplished in fucking bad fucking shit. Don't be proud of bad, stupid shit. That's so stupid. Be proud of what you've done. Oh, I'm white. You didn't do that, fucking cracker. Now get out and fucking, you know, plow a field and then come back to me and say, hey, I plowed a field. And I'd be like, God damn, motherfucker, that's fucking cool as fuck. What you gonna raise there? What you gonna do? How'd you do it? Did you do it with a horse and a plow? You had a tractor? You had equipment? What are you gonna raise? And then we can have that conversation. I probably should actually get into Farmville a little bit. Start learning how to raise some damn crops and shit. So anyways, that's a list of corporations, right? We can learn from Japan, we can learn from Germany and France and United Kingdom, Brazil, Russia, Italy, India, Canada, Australia, Spain, Mexico, South Korea, Indonesia, Turkey, Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, Iran, Sweden, Norway, and probably about 27 other fucking countries. We're number 28 in our nation, so we can actually learn from 27 states. There's 27 states and 50 fucking countries. That's almost 75 different fucking you know, nations or different fucking organizations that Kentucky can learn from. There's 75 countries, you know, and states in the world that's doing better GDP wise, and we can learn from them. And that's just the GDP. So you know, when you look at the state in its totality, then you'll start seeing what I'm seeing. How Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Belgium, Germany. I was impressed with Japan and France. Now France and UK, they're kind of imperialist. So actually, but I like France's secularism. And I think Norway might be secular too. So you know they're using rationality and logic, and they're using, you know, fucking good ideas. They're fucking using good ideas, and they're going with good ideas. And you know, like I said, a good idea is a good fucking idea. I don't give a fuck what mouth it comes out of. A good idea, especially an idea whose time has come, is just a good fucking idea, and it should be implemented. So, Jonathan Masters, Kentucky Economics 101. It's all about the fucking money, Kentucky. Come on, get smart. Learn what you're doing. Educate yourself. You know, look at all these states, comparative governments. We can learn so much from all these fucking states that are doing better than us. New Jersey, what is New Jersey doing? You know, that motherfucker, he's got a point. He's got a point that New Jersey pays more its fair share in taxes than Kentucky. Kentucky does not. We're taking money. Okay, we're the fucking welfare recipients, you know, the people that we're the chickens voting for Colonel Sanders. We're like, yeah, cut our welfare. We don't give a damn. Cut our Social Security and cut our food stamps and welfare and education programs and health care. We don't care. We don't care. We're so damned independent. We got so much wealth and independence and autonomy. We don't need any of that stuff from the government. Fuck the government. Yeah, well, fuck you, you stupid ass bastard. Not only are you killing yourself, but you're killing your fucking neighbors, and you're killing the whole fucking state. In terms of, you know, with the recession and stuff, and with the globalization and the increase of mechanization and the rise of robots, we're gonna be squeezed out into, you know, non-existence. And there's a lot of uneducated fucking workers around here, and not just educate them to be tradesmen and shit, but we need, you know, to be well versed and you know, sort of the arts and also politics, just what they're doing with the political systems. You know, who the fuck else do I got to talk about all the political systems? You know, fucking, what's that? Rick Perry talked about bumping plans. We'll bump plans together, meaning I'll put your plan next to my plan, and we'll try to, you know, make some type of consensus, and we'll, you know, make something will come out of bumping people's plans together. And that's a good idea. So when I compare these governments, it would be nice for somebody to be like, well, you know, I looked at Denmark, and it turns out that Denmark actually, I don't know, does something crazy and stupid that we shouldn't do, and therefore we shouldn't do it. Or they actually are doing better things than what you had first noticed, and I think we should be doing this thing too that Denmark is doing. They have socialists in the Green Party. That's who their parliament is made of. Green Party people and socialists. Whatever, what type of government that the socialists and the Green Parties put together, that's amazing. That's incredible. That's the fucking society. That's the Kentucky I want to see. So, Viva la Revolution. Rise up, Kentucky. Good night.